you all see my MPD office dashboard?
Oops. Yep.
Great. Okay, before I get into some specifics, what I'm going to walk you through today is reviews on your website, reviews through Google, Facebook, Zillow, and then also using the e-cards for getting reviews. But before we walk through all of those, I kind of want to open discussion for anyone that's really good at this. So if you are good at asking your clients for reviews, what are some of the ways that you do it? And if you don't want to answer now or you want to think about it, and we can talk about it later too, I just think it's good if we can kind of bounce off ideas with each other. The best way, I mean, the way to get reviews, you have to ask. Unless you have like a super review friendly person. Okay, so millennial, me, if I have a great experience with a restaurant, or if I have a great experience with an individual in their business, I am going to go put a review, typically on Google, maybe Facebook, but that's not everybody. I also know how vital it is to businesses for me to do that, how good that is for your business and how important that is. But there are so many people that don't have that knowledge. They don't realize how powerful their words can be when it comes to speaking about their interactions with you and working with you. So what are some great ways that you guys ask for reviews? Is it at closing? Is it through email? Is it via text? Anybody have anything they want to offer before I go into the kind of the nuts and bolts of where you can send people and how you can capture those? I see Vicky's taking her mute off. I see Loria. Okay, Loria, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm not the best at this, but it's usually about a week out when I'm sending the reminder about utilities and that kind of wrap it up email that I'll say, oh, by the way, blah, blah, something. Or if we're in person, I'll do it. And the goal is to do it before closing when everybody's in a good mood, so sometimes like at least by final walkthrough.
Right. Awesome. Vicky, did you have something?
Whoops. I actually have a calendar that tells me what day to do everything. So it's already set up, pre-done for me. So as soon as it pops up and reminds me to send out my Zillow request for a referral, sure. I've got a pre-typed letter I always send out. I just go out, fish it, grab it, send it out to my client, and I get a lot of people respond. And then I attach those, of course, to all of the things I send out on my monthly newsletter and things like that. I send out those, I attach some of those, that feedback.
Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome. What part of your closing process, at what point is that? Is that after closing? Is it before?
Nope, it's 3 days after closing.
3 days after closing. And then I heard you say you grab something and do you email or mail?
I send it via email.
Email. Okay. Awesome.
Yep. I'm going to set up it's on, I don't know, I use all client for my CRM.
Sure.
So I've got letters out there that I just go out there. It's already typed up for me. I add their name onto it, and then I just hit send, and it automatically ships it to them.
Awesome.
So, okay.
Awesome. Anybody else have something they want to add or talk about your process as far as when you ask for a review or how? No? Okay. I'll let you think about it. This isn't your only chance. We can definitely talk about this after. I'm going to show you the ones I just talked through, your website, Google, Facebook, Zillow, and then the e-cards in the CRM. I'm going to show you all of those and how you ask for reviews with all of those different products. But most importantly is just keeping it front of mind. I know it's so easy to forget, or maybe it's just really hard for you guys. It's hard to ask for a review. You think you've had a great experience. The ones that will just sing your praises. Those are the ones you really want to reach out to and ask for them to give you some words online. One thing that's really great about your website, and that's the first one I'm going to show you, is your website. You control those reviews. So the reason we did that is because then you can control and take any reviews you get on Facebook, any reviews you get on Zillow, any reviews you get on Google. You can take all of those and put them onto your website. But something else that's great is how many times do you get maybe a text from your client or an email from your client that isn't a formal review, but they just say, hey, Teresa, it was so great working with you. You really went above and beyond, and I just loved how you communicated with me through this whole process. I mean, that's a text or an email that you get, boom, right there, you've got a testimonial. And you say, thank you so much for those words. Do you mind if I use those as a testimonial on my website? Because they don't have to then reply to a formal request, and you can just take that text. Or how many of you get, some people still send you guys written notes after the process. How many of those are really nice? I know I helped an agent, I can't remember who it was, take some written reviews. Basically, that wasn't their formal thing that was going on, but it was a review in the form of a note card that someone sent them, and we were able to take those with the permission of the writer and put them on their website as a review. So as you're getting feedback from your clients in other mediums, whether it is text, email, even face-to-face words, or maybe a written note, don't hesitate to ask them if you can use those words on your website. Okay. First one I'm going to show you is, once you have those words from someone, whatever way you got them, how do you get them onto your website? So you do that by logging into NPD Office, which you can see, all of you can see my screen. I'm going to make sure I can see Nikki. She's going to give me a thumbs up, or a bunch of you today. Okay, so I'm on NPD Office, and now I want to put those on my website. So I'm going to click on Website Admin. Actually, give me one quick second. I forgot to switch to my agent account. So just ignore what I'm doing right now. Not doing this. Okay. I logged into NPD Office. Now I'm going to click on Website Admin. Once I'm in Website Admin, the really quick, easy changes for your website all happen under this My Info. So I'm going to click on My Info, which is under the section My Info. Kind of redundant, but My Info.
Stacy?
Yep.
I'm not seeing your screen. I'm seeing your cute face. Should I be seeing your screen?
It could be the view that you have on your personal device. Does everybody else see my screen? Thumbs up if you see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always a problem child. Okay, I'll just listen. It's okay.
So there could be, if you can see that you might have like the grid view, you might want to choose, I think it's like, oh, I forget the word, the host view, or, like presenter view, if you want to see just my face and my screen. But definitely look under your views if you can find that.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
It's under speaker view.
Yep, got it. Thank you.
Yes, speaker, that's the word. The speaker. Okay, so now I'm in My Info under Website Admin in NPD Office. And here, if I look at the top, I have what we call breadcrumbs. So I have all these red words here. And if I go across the top, all the way over to the right, you see where it says testimonials. And if you have the picture of people's faces up on the right hand of your screen, it might be in your way, but testimonials is right here on the right on the right. So I'm going to click on testimonials. You'll see any that I've entered previously are here. And if I scroll down to the bottom of this page, I can add those testimonials right here. So let's say I received one from Nikki and it was in the form of an email. I can come in here and put author. Now, this is something that you're going to have to decide for yourself how you'd like to display the authors on your website. Think about continuity and do it the same way every time. You could do buyer Nikki K. You could just do Nikki K. You can define them in any way. Maybe they want their full name out there. Talk to that client who gave you that review. And then add it in that way. So just keep the same process however you choose to do it. And then where it asks for a date, if I click in here, it automatically pulls in today's date. I can go choose the date I want to display for this review. One thing I would suggest, I typically recommend just totally deleting this field and putting nothing in the date field, because then it's timeless. See how I just skipped right over to the testimonial body. If you like to show that you have business for years and you want to show the dates, just make sure that you're adding a testimonial every once in a while and you keep up on that. Otherwise, it can look really dated. If I put one in today and I don't think about doing one until a year from now, then it looks like I haven't had business or reviews in that time. If I don't put a date, timeless, right? So here I can type the review that Nikki left me, or I could have copied and pasted that testimonial in here, which means if I received a review on Google or FaceTime, Facebook, or I'm having trouble with words. I'm not sleeping much. Can you tell? Facebook or Google or in an email or a text, I can just copy and paste that review right here in the testimonial body. If I scroll down underneath where I put the body of that review, it says add testimonial. When I click there, it's going to automatically add it to my website. You can see here it's added. And if I go out to my website, do you guys see me switch screens here? Thank you, Nikki. Ooh, can't spell my own name. It's moving a little slow. Is it kind of a lagging for you guys too? A little bit. See my website pulled up here? Okay, so if I scroll down here, we have this testimonial section. And if I click on that, here are all my testimonials, and I can click here. Here's the review that Nikki left me. Okay, so what's also nice for those of you who are our CRM users, if you add testimonials here to your website, they will also pull into the monthly newsletter options. So this is where that section is controlled. If I add testimonials here, when I go to send out my newsletter it goes out on the 15th, but a few days before as I'm working on it, as I'm going through the 5 steps, there's a step that's called testimonials, and it will pull all of these up, and I can choose a new one every month to display in my newsletter. And this is where those are added. You can't add those in the CRM in the newsletter. They pull from your website right here. Any questions on this section on how to add a testimonial to your website to see in your CRM, and also how you copy paste or add that information yourself?
Stacy, I lost track.
Sure.
You said go to NPD Office, and I was doing that on another computer because unfortunately I have to use my laptop for Zoom.
Okay.
But I don't know where you went after that.
So I clicked website admin in the top left corner.
Got it.
And then my info.
Got it. Okay.
Once I'm there on the far right, you'll see these red words all the way over after social profiles. It says testimonials.
I actually have it. Yep. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. No problem.
I didn't know we could put them out here. I've been doing it manually, so this will make it much easier.
Yep. You can put them right here.
Thank you.
Yep. Any questions about this?
So Stacy, real quick, when we put this on our website, like you just showed us, then it will pull it into our CRM newsletter that goes out every month, or we have to do something there to make it show up?
So it will automatically show up in the options under your newsletter. So once the newsletter, I wish it was ready to customize, I'd show you it right now. But when you get into your newsletter to customize, there are the 5 steps. And the first one is if you want to add an article. The second one is, what's the second step? Do you want to add an article? It might be the second step. I don't know. Second or third step, it's going to say add a testimonial. All of the ones that you've added in here will pull up, and there will just be a little checkbox next to the one that you want to select. And that one will appear in your newsletter for that month. So it's in the customize section, but you don't have to manually pull these in. They will all pop up and you just click on which one you want to appear.
But you do have to go in and customize when you get that notification that your newsletter is going to go out in a couple of days or whatever. You have to go in and customize, pick the one that you want, click on it, and then it'll send it.
Yep.
Okay,
and
thank you.
And it's good to go in every month anyways to pick a new one. Yep.
Right. Exactly.
Great question. Any other questions on that?
Stacy, if you don't choose a new one each month, will that same one go each month, or you physically have to go in and do it each month?
You have to add it every month. There is
Okay.
a default section to that newsletter. I don't know if we've talked about it, and I'm trying to think. Hang on for this quick ride. Don't pay attention to anything I'm doing, and I'll show you if it's there. So if I go into my CRM and I go to campaigns and I go to newsletter and it tells me it's being created. Do you see this defaults button right here? I don't think I've gone over this much or with very many, or I used to. Sometimes you forget about all the little things. So here under defaults, header image. So if you had a header image that you like, that you wanted to select to always have, you can do that. So maybe there's one you want to always appear. You can
So
select
Stacy,
default
if
image.
you can choose one, and if you use it this way, then you won't have to go in and choose it every month. Is that right?
It will pull the exact same one every month.
Thank you.
Yes, so here next to header image, I click on testimonial section. So if you want the same testimonial to pull every month, or maybe you just choose a default in case you don't remember to go in and choose a new one every month, it'll at least still pull one. You can do that right here. So then I can change it and click save setting at the bottom. See how they all pull in? It's kind of how they pull in when you go to customize your newsletter. There's a step. I suggest picking a new one every month, but it is good to have a fallback one so that it always looks a little bit more personalized if you didn't go in and customize it. I'm going to click save setting at the bottom. And that is how we add a testimonial to the website. MPD Office, website admin, my info, and then all the way to the right of the red words, we're going to choose testimonials. All right, you guys ready for Google? If you don't have a Google My Business listing, you need to create one. Maybe if that's something you don't have, maybe that'll be the next class that I teach. How many of you have a Google My Business, or kind of raise your hand if you have one? You have one? A lot of you have one? Great. Okay, looks like lots of hands are not up, so maybe that will be another class. Nikki, can you make a note? Google My Business. So Google My Business is basically when you Google NP Dodge, it pulls up, I'm going to pull up a screen here and show you. So if I go to Google, I was looking up paint colors. Sorry, my computer's moving a little slow. So if I pull up, and I'm going to use this example because it's my family's business and I know what it will look like. Legacy Hall. Okay, so let's say I click Legacy Hall and click enter. And it's going to show me some of my management tools right here in the center. But if you look over on the right-hand side, do you see this listing where it says, see photos, there's a map, it has a link to website, directions, save, call, and it's got the reviews. Do you see that listing over on the right? That is a Google My Business. And it's basically just a placeholder when someone Googles you where they can find any little thing about you. So within this, if I scroll down, you'll see reviews are here. You've got reviews from the web. Reviews are here. People can write a review for you right here. I can view all the Google reviews. Can you guys see this? I know it's on the right, so sometimes it's under the pictures of people. But I can click here to see all of them. If you have a Google My Business page, you can send the link out to this Google reviews section to your clients. So I'm going to show you how to do that. If you have a Google My Business, then you know up in your Chrome browser, and guys, if this is too much, just ignore it. I can teach you in a Google My Business class. But for those of you that have one, next to your picture in the top right corner of your browser, you have all these little dots. Those are called Google Apps. So if I click there, you'll see, those of you who are familiar with Google Drive, YouTube, you've got Google Meet, Calendar, Gmail, it all lives here. These are all just quick links to all of those different products that are owned and run by Google. Well, one of them at the top of mine, you'll see I have Google My Business, and it looks like a little storefront with an awning. It's super cute with the little blue stripes. And if I click right here on Google My Business, it's going to take me to where I manage that business on Google. So basically that listing. It's kind of like you're adding the yellow pages. Okay, so this is, if you have more than one location, they will pull here. I only have one, so you'll see Legacy Hall. I'm going to click on that one. And then it takes me to the dashboard for that business. On this front page dashboard, I can just scroll to the bottom, partway down here. You can see some reviews, and you're going to see this big button right here. Do you guys see where it says get more reviews? And then it says share review form. If I click that button, I get a link, so I can copy this link and I can add it to an email to a client. If I'm looking at it on my Google My Business app on my phone, they have a really great app. You can grab that link and you can text it to a client. You also have the ability to share it on your Facebook, Twitter, or you can see it says via email. It will open it right up for you. So you can take this link and share it with your clients and just say, hey, would you mind leaving me a Google review? Right here from your Google My Business dashboard, the home page of your dashboard where you manage that listing. Any questions on finding that button? No?
Can people put a review on your Google My Business page without seeing it first?
I didn't hear the end of that, but I think you said without you viewing it first.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can't, just like with Facebook, you don't control those reviews. But if it's a bad review, if it's a good review, if it's mediocre, you don't have control over what is said about you on that listing. So that's why it's really important to get that link out to your friends, your family, the clients you know that are going to say great things about you. Colleen, looks like you figured it out. You just sent me a request for a review. Good job. You guys can always use me and Nikki as testers. If you're like, hey, how do I send this? Send it to me and Nikki will be like, oh, they're testing it out. Look at them go. So yes, they can post a review without you having knowledge of it prior to it being posted. Now, when you manage a listing, you'll get notifications through, depending on how you have it set up. I get them in my email. When Legacy Hall gets a review, I get an email with that review.
Can you take it down?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Business. Yes. Cool.
Great questions. Any other questions?
This is helpful. I do have a Google page, and
Hang on, Loria, we have, I think we need to mute everybody. Can you do that, Nikki? I'm hearing feedback from other people. I'm having a hard time hearing. And then there's still someone. Someone's not muted. Okay, I think I got it. Loria, go ahead and unmute yourself and then let's hear your question.
okay, so funny, I forgot my question, but I do have a Google business page. And so I found that review, and I had this before and I claimed a free credit, which was super easy, but then I got charged for something. And I called them, it was a big deal. And I sound like a big dodo bird, but now I get it. So this is helpful, and any class you have would be great because I have no idea what I'm doing with this.
Okay. And it'll be super basic. Poor Colleen, she probably has the most knowledge on Google My Business. They had multiple listings that they had to try to combine into one and to change the name and to determine who got to manage it. That is a mess. If you don't start it and manage it yourself, or you have multiple, you get so much in the weeds and really tricky. Colleen, do you have some words of wisdom on this piece before we move on from Google?
Don't start Google Business and then change companies.
Ooh.
Okay, you're stuck. Put MP Dodge on there. I'm leaving.
Oh, I bet.
We did get a couple of bad reviews, and you just have to cope with them. You just have to review them. I mean, And I mean, we had a good defense, but you know, the people who review you don't think that it's good defense. So yeah, you just got to put up with it.
Reviews in general are usually left by people who are high on emotion, whether that's good or bad. So you're going to see both ends of the spectrum when it comes to reviews. The important thing with the negative reviews is that you respond. As the owner of that page or that listing, you need to respond to it. People see that, and that makes such a difference to how they view your listing. So as long as you are responding to those negative reviews, positive and negative, good to respond, but really important to respond to those negative reviews. Any other questions on the Google reviews, where you find that request link? Good, okay. Next, we're gonna move on to Facebook. This one should be pretty easy. Most of you have a Facebook page. Most of you are used to going here. So I'm gonna log into Facebook and get to my business page. Sorry, it's slower today. I don't know what's up. So you'll see on the left-hand side of my Facebook page, I have a shortcut to my business page right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that to get to my business page. And wait. Okay, here we are. It's not pulled up yet. I'll wait. Nick, yeah, I think I can see you. Give me a thumbs up when it's loaded. It's not loaded for me yet, so we'll just give it a quick minute. Not sure what the slowness is all about.
Did they, quick question while this is loading, did they recently do updates to business pages? Because I was on there the other day and walked into a whole thing that I have to go back and update, because now it'll post both at the same time from Facebook to Facebook and Instagram. And then on Instagram, it'll post to all three, well, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So it looks like they've made some huge changes.
They've definitely made some big changes, and I can't say I'm up to date with them, having been not working for the last 3 months.
Okay.
But the look is definitely different. And if you have your accounts linked, it does not surprise me that there's definitely some differences there. I know that the two, as far as Instagram and Facebook, the two messenger platforms, like your DMs in Instagram and your Messenger, Facebook Messenger, those can intertwine now. So you can speak with people from one platform to the other. You can kind of message both ways. It all kind of goes together now. So I know there's some updates, and if you have questions, I can definitely dig into it and try and find the answers.
Okay.
Don't have them today, unfortunately.
No worries at all. It's just, it's something I'm gonna do Friday and sit down with it a little bit, but yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if I am on my Facebook business page, and you can see I've got these tabs here at the top, home and services, reviews, and more. You want to go to reviews, and something I want you to watch. As I click reviews, you'll see at the top this web address, or like we like to call URL. It's going to change. So as I click reviews, you can see that my URL changed to my business page name /reviews. You see it here. Here are where my reviews are. Thank you, Jerry Lovell, for that nice review on my fake page. But here they are. And all I have to do to share this with someone is to click on the URL in my browser. So browser is wherever you're accessing the internet, which could be Safari or Chrome, Edge, or hopefully not Explorer, maybe Firefox. That's where you type in the web address, or what we also call the URL. If I click on it, I can copy, and then I can paste this link into a text, into an email, and then you can send that on to your client and say, hey, could you give me a review? You can also send it in Messenger. If you're going to send it within Facebook, you can do that as well. But the way to ask for reviews on Facebook is to go to your page, go to the reviews tab and grab that URL, copy paste that URL. Questions on that? You guys are probably pretty familiar with this one, right? And with Google, you cannot remove any reviews that are negative. Again, it's important to respond to those negative reviews. If there's some really untrue things about it, or like for instance, I know our NP Dodge corporate page often got reviews for the apartments, which isn't necessarily, it's not who we are, even though it's another division of our company. So we can, reach out to Facebook, and it's a long process. But if you can say, hey, that's not us, or hey, that's not me, this is not a service I provided, you provide information to Facebook, there are ways to get it down with those kind of reviews. But if it's just a negative review, then you can't do that. The only other option you have is to remove the review section altogether from your page, which I don't suggest because it's really important. You just need to have your friends and family and your great customers who you know will write good words go out and put good reviews so that it will push those negative reviews down. Any questions on Facebook reviews? No, it's the hardest part about reviews is not where you're going to get them. It's asking for them, taking the time to ask your clients for them and asking them to do it. You may ask 50 people to do it and get one, and that's huge. That's great. All right, we're heading to Zillow. I'm going to pull up Zillow here and close some windows. You're going to log into Zillow. I'm not an agent. I don't have an account. So Jill Anderson was kind enough to give me her login information so that I can show you what it looks like as an agent. If you haven't gone into Zillow and created a professional account, you should do that. When you go here to create an account, it will, like if I clicked on new account, it will ask if you are an industry professional, and it'll create what they call a pro. I think it's called Zillow Pro account or professional. But I'm just going to go ahead and pretend like you all have a Zillow profile, and I'm going to go ahead and click sign in. Pretty sure I clicked it. Okay, it doesn't look like it, but some things changed when I click signed in. So in the top right corner, you now see that I have what's called an agent hub. Do you guys see that? Don't have Nikki anymore, so someone else. Brian Pierce, yeah, good?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so if I click agent hub, you'll see I have dashboard, inbox, and I want to go to profile. I think it accidentally automatically took me to dashboard, but I wanted to just go to my profile. I can do it once I'm on the dashboard too, but we're always looking for that profile. So profile off the main page, or profile once you're on the dashboard underneath your image in the top right corner. So I'm going to click on profile because it said edit your info and request reviews. Did you see that? I'm going to show you that again. So when I click on Jill's picture in the top right corner, profile says edit your info and request reviews. So what that takes me to is this page where I can update my information, but what we're going over today, most important, is this request a review. Really easy, great box, right? So you get two options when you click on request a review here in Zillow. You can, right here in Zillow, add email accounts or email addresses right here, separated by a comma, and it will send those emails the message below in the body. And you can edit this if you want to change it up. But also letting your client know that they do have to create a Zillow account in order to add the review. And then you just click send a request. I believe you can do up to 50 emails in this box. Yes, it's 50 is the limit. So you can do 50 at a time and then modify that message and click send request. Now, if you don't want to send it through Zillow, you have the option. It's really small here at the bottom because it's not what they are trying to get you to do, but it says send the client a direct link to your review form. So you also have the option to grab that direct link just by clicking here. This is called a hyperlink. So if I click on it, it's going to give me, again, a web address or a URL that I can copy. Oops, sorry. Highlight, copy, and then go paste it into an email. It says it right there on there for you to do also as well. It talks you right through that. So that's how you get there in Zillow. So this is asking people to leave you a review on Zillow. Remembering that as we ask our clients to put reviews on Google and Facebook and Zillow, like I'm showing you, once they're there, we can go copy and paste those and put them in our website. Okay. What kind of questions do we have on Zillow reviews? Anything? No?
Nothing other than I need to update it. It's all old.
So
I use
once you
realtor.com a lot.
you start following along, you get in there and you notice like all your information's wrong.
Yep.
Well, good. This is a good reminder. Everybody go check your Zillow account, because as much as we hate the Z word, that is where people are going and they're checking it. And so you want to make sure that your information is up to date. So if they're checking you out, they can get a hold of you. They can see your listings. They can see, they just check Zillow like it is the Bible, and it's not, but we know that.
So you think Zillow's the most important to get reviews on?
Of these,
Yeah.
I would say it's a tie with Google, because like as a consumer, I'm not going to, if I'm considering working with an agent, I'm not going to immediately go to Zillow to find your profile. I'm going to go to Google and put your name in, and then I'm going to find your Zillow profile through that Google search. But if your Google ad or your Google listing, Google My Business, pulls up on that right-hand side, that's really valuable.
Okay.
And that's just consumer perspective. Nikki, consumer perspective, you're going to work with an agent. What do you say?
No, I agree. I think most people are going to go ahead and Google first and then Zillow second.
Right. So I'm probably going to get to your Zillow profile through my Google search, but Google's my first stop. So that listing and those reviews on that Google listing are really important. Facebook is always one of the top search results as well. So, I mean, they all hold importance. Something I didn't mention while as I was talking through Facebook reviews and Google reviews is that Google, once you have a Google My Business listing and you have a Facebook page and their names match, at least almost completely, but at least somewhat matching, Google will start to notice and see your Facebook page, and it will add your Facebook reviews to your Google My Business listing. So as you start to Google things, you'll see listings like that, and you'll scroll down and look at their information. You'll see it says like, hey, they've got 4 out of 5 stars on Facebook. Google does that automatically. It's not a connection that you have to make. It will automatically start to link them as it starts to see the credibility.
Hey, Stacy.
Yeah.
I've seen some apps. I think my HVAC guy had it, where if you give him a review, we're going to cross all the formats, automatically add a review. Do you know anything about those type of apps?
I'm guessing it's a third party that he's paying for. If you forward it to me, I could possibly look into it.
I'm gonna look at it again. It's pretty cool because you don't have to ask. That's my biggest problem is, hey, go to Zillow, go to realtor.com,
Yep.
Dodge, go to my Facebook page.
It's
I'm
a
not
lot,
sure
yeah.
where to start.
Yeah, it's a lot of places to go. That's what I'm going to show you. The last thing I'm going to show you is using the review request emails in the CRM, because you can plug in those URLs that you have from Zillow or Facebook and just keep them in one of the CRM cards, and then just send that out to your client so that you don't have to go find those links over and over again. You kind of have it in a one-stop shop that you don't have to recreate every time you want to ask for a review. So that's the next thing I'm going to show you. It still asks them to pick one and go to it or to reply to the email, but you don't have to do the work to go to all the different platforms to pull those links. Any other questions on Zillow?
So a quick question. So on all of these, the ones that we can control are what we're putting on our website and end up on our CRM newsletter. We're not able to control, if somebody does a review for us on Google or Facebook or Zillow, we have no way of putting that up ourselves or doing anything with that.
Right.
We can just copy that and put it over. But if we wanted them, if they're a good client, a good friend or something like that, we could send them the request from each one of those.
Yes.
And they could even copy the same review and just put it on our Facebook, put it on Zillow and all that stuff.
Exactly. You nailed it on the head. Yes. And what's so important is, like we said, high emotion, high or low, whether it's negative or positive, they're the people who are going to go put a review out for you. So it's really important that you push these links to your clients and you ask for those positive reviews, because someone that has a negative review, which I'm sure none of you will ever have, those people are going to automatically go out there and do that themselves. They're not going to wait for you to send them a link and be like, oh, bad service with this person, I'm going to put that out there. They're already feeling that emotion. They're going to go do it. So you need to catch those good ones and push your links out to those people so you can capture some really positive feedback. But exactly.
The other thing I had to with that was on, if there is a negative review, not that any of us get those, but if something like that does come up just because you get a vengeful person, I know you said that we should engage those people or respond to them as well, but we also have to be very careful with that. I mean, obviously you're going to show your true color on how you are going to respond to that. You're probably better off if you can just get more reviews and bump them down the list.
Yes.
I mean,
one of the best ways to respond to a negative review is to just say, I'm sorry you had that experience. Please reach out to me directly at, this email address or this phone number, and I would love to address this further. So you don't actually put out there the resolution or what you're doing or create conversation with that person on the review, but you're just responding and giving them the opportunity to reach out to you in a more personal way that isn't, right in front of the public for all to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, for real estate agents with negative reviews, the most negative reviews that I've seen on agents, not our agents, obviously, are typically other agents' clients. And who knows how messages are misconstrued through the grapevine from, and it's your listing and that buyer's or the buyer's agent has, however they spin the story and tell their clients, that client may have some sort of reason they're upset with you. Those clients tend to put reviews on agents' pages more than, when it comes to a negative review, more than your own personal clients who are putting out reviews. Negative clients typically come from the other party. I'm getting a nod from Loria.
Yeah, because I had a hell of a case that Herb Freeman actually put me on, because she wrote a big complaint to the Better Business Bureau, and not even my client, and her agent was her brother.
Oh, geez.
Fun times.
Yeah. So it's typically from the other side, and the message can be a totally different thing than what was actually maybe what happened. But if that's why you just can put out there, I'd be happy to address this further. Not love to, you don't love to, but you'd be happy to assist them further if they wish to discuss it, and that you're sorry for that experience. Okay, if everybody is good with Google, Facebook, and Zillow, we're going to go back to NPD Office and pull up the CRM so that I can show you how to send out an e-card asking for these reviews.
Ooh.
Okay. NPD Office. I'm going to get back to my home page here. And I'm going to go to the CRM. Remember, you have a link up in your blue quick links bar, or I can scroll down to the tile that says CRM. Once I'm inside the CRM, I'm going to click on campaigns in the top blue bar. And for those of you who are worried about taking notes, we are recording this class, and I am going to do short videos on every single one of these things I'm going over so that you can have those to reference in the future. But I'm going to click on campaigns, and then these cards live under standalone. So standalone. And then I'm going to add a campaign like I'm creating a new e-card. So add campaign is here in the top right corner, but I am going to hit it here. It doesn't matter which button you select. And then it's going to take me to all of the different e-cards and the standalone campaigns. These ones live under, trying to remember, business development, e-cards and business development, I believe. Don't write it down till we're there. Yes, okay. Okay, so you have a couple options once you're in here. Trying to move my screen around so I can see what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. Okay, once I'm in e-cards, business development, the first one you see at the top says Facebook review request. This is requesting a review on the NP Dodge corporate real estate, residential real estate page. Really important because they have so many viewers. If you want to send your clients to put a Facebook review of you there, it's actually going to get a ton of views, and that's a really valuable thing. Just not what I'm going over today. Today, I'm going to go over how you can get reviews onto your pages. So you'll see these two emails. One says reply testimonial and one says reply Facebook and Zillow testimonials. So I'm going to do this one first, and by clicking on the check mark, you get all these images to choose from. So whatever image you want to be part of your e-card, you can go ahead and select one. I'm going to leave it on that one. I like the computer with the NP Dodge logo and the 5 stars. And then as I scroll down, you'll see you can customize this e-card. I'm going to put a subject line in here just so I can show you a preview of what this looks like. But the name your campaign, as I'm customizing, this is just like every other e-card. Name your campaign is an internal field for you to remember what you're sending out. Subject is the email subject line. Pre-header, remember this is the one that we drill in over and over. It looks really small, but it's actually the mobile preview. So you have to make sure you add something to this section, even if you repeat information that's inside the body of the email. Header 1, header 2, you can put something in there. You can see obviously header 2 is blank. If I want to add to it, I can. But let's go down to the content, the body of this email. Thank you so much for choosing me as your real estate agent. I enjoyed working with you and was thrilled to be a part of this significant moment in your life. It is working with people like you that make me love what I do and hope you are beyond happy with the transaction. I'm in the process of working to grow my online testimonials, and I would love to be able to spotlight working with you. Would you be willing to submit a testimonial about our transaction and what it was like to work with me? To do this, all you have to do is directly respond to this email. It's as easy as that. No account or registration required. I appreciate you taking the time to give me feedback and look forward to reading your remarks. Thank you. So this card, sorry, I read that fast. This card is asking for a testimonial that you would then take and put onto your website. This isn't linking out to Zillow. This isn't linking out to Facebook. It's just getting them to click reply to the email, writing some nice words, and clicking send. Easiest one for your client to do. The other ones all require some sort of account registration. Zillow does, Google does, and Facebook does. Now, the benefit to Google or Facebook, most people have those two accounts. Most people have a Gmail account and most people have a Facebook account. So they don't typically have to set something up ahead of time. When you're asking for a Zillow review, most clients are going to have to create an account in order to leave that review. Important to ask for, yes, but just so you understand the request to your customer. So let's say I want to send this and just get a response back so I can put it on my website. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to move this bar so I can click on, hang on. So then I'm going to click next step. Here's where I can add my contacts. You don't want to send these to other agents. So we're going to go to my contact book by clicking send to my contacts. And then I can select a contact or a group of contacts. Maybe I've gone in ahead of time and created a group that I want to send this to, or I can select an individual and I can send it to that person specifically. So there I've got Susie Yates. I can send it to her. I can click next step. Here's your launch report. This pulls with every e-card that you do in the CRM. And in the bottom right corner, we click approved, proceed to send. And then I can select a date and a time to send it, or I can click send it now. So that's all you have to do for that one. It's already a pre-made thing. You just go in and select who you want to send it to and click send and wait for them to respond. with some words. Any questions on that one? No? Okay, you guys have like 5 to 10 more minutes of learning with you. This next one's a little bit more difficult. Again, remember videos, you're gonna be able to watch these again. Questions?
Casey, is that template, is that already built?
Yes, that's in all of your accounts under eCards, business development.
And then can we change it at all?
Yes, so you can modify all of that verbiage.
And then if we go back in the next time, will the verbiage be modified or will it revert back to the original?
Great question. It will be modified, but what you can do if you want to use when you've already modified is when you go to campaigns and you click standalone, rather than going in and clicking add campaign, go to your sent campaigns and they will all be here, and you can click copy to a new campaign and it will save the changes that you had made previously, and it'll just pull that up, and then you can make more changes if you want to, or just go through next, 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 and add who you want to send it to and send it out.
What if we want to revert back to the original though?
You can
So we can personalize it.
You can always go back to add campaign and then go through the steps I just showed you. Add campaign, eCards, business development, they live right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. All right, ready for the last one? I'm going to stay here. So we're going right back where we were. We're in the CRM. We're under campaigns, and then we clicked standalone. So I'm in the standalone campaigns, and I'm going to click add campaign again to create a new card. Once I'm in standalone, I'm going to click on the eCards to expand this section and have more options. And here is where I go back to business development. This is where those eCards live. I'm going to scroll down, and you could see down there, I first showed you this one, the reply testimonial, and now I'm going to show you reply, Facebook, and Zillow testimonials. So I'm going to click the check mark. Again, I get all these great pictures to choose from, whichever one I want to use. Just select them by choosing the check mark, and then we're going to customize this eCard. Name your campaign. This is an internal field for you to remember the eCard that you sent out. You can name this whatever you want. Subject is the email subject line. Minity. Whatever your subject line is, what you want it to be, something to catch their eye. Would you take a minute? Would you leave me a review? It was great working with you, whatever it might be. Same fields, pre-header, header, but now our body looks a little bit different. So the body of this email has really similar verbiage here, but it talks about the few options that they have. So you have a few quick and easy options to do this. So instead of it just saying respond to this email, it gives the user 3 options. 1, respond to this email, easy as that, no account or registration required. So same request that other email was making. But then we have 2 more. Click here to leave a review on my Facebook page. Number 3, click here to create a Zillow account and leave a testimonial there. See this highlighted text here? Agents, you must hyperlink your Facebook page and URL. Hyperlink means make that here word a button. Hyperlink means a word is a button and takes you somewhere else. So you must hyperlink your Facebook page URL and or Zillow account URL so consumers can click the following links. Then remove this highlighted text. It even talks you through how to hyperlink. I'm going to show it to you, but it tells you right there to hyperlink. You use your cursor to highlight the click here, select the icon, the hyperlink icon in the toolbar, and paste the appropriate web address or URL. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I am going to go up to this section here. Remember when I was in Zillow? And if I go to the bottom, I get a direct link by clicking right here. Remember that? So I can highlight, I can copy it, And now I'm going to go back to that e-card. See, is it moving fast enough? You guys with me? Okay. So since I just copied my Zillow one, I'm going to come down to number 3. And now I want to make this here a button. So I am going to highlight this by selecting it, drag and highlight. And then up in the toolbar, you're going to see this little chain icon. Do you guys see that? And if I hover on it, it says link. So I can click that. And then it's just going to ask me for the URL. Remember, URL is web address. So if I paste that web address right there and click OK, this has now become a button to the review page on Zillow. We're going to do the same thing for Facebook. I'm going to open up my Facebook account. Hopefully it doesn't take as long to load. I'm going to go to my business page. Jeopardy music, anybody? And then I'm going to click on that reviews tab. So there's home, services, reviews, and then that URL change. So now I'm going to highlight. I'm so Nebraskan. I realize I keep saying oop, and my 2-year-old does. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that URL, copy, go back to my CRM tab. I just have these all in the same browser, open in different tabs at the top. I'm coming back down to number 2 where it says click here to leave a review on my Facebook. I'm going to highlight the here because I want that to be a button. I'm going up to the chain or that link icon. When I hover over it, it says link. Click on that icon to open it and paste the web address or URL into the URL field or box and click OK. And those 2 have now become buttons. Now, what's most important is that I come up here and I take all this highlighted text and delete it. Delete all of that. So it's not in there. So it just has that. Now, if I want to add my Google in here also, if you want to say, hey, here's option 4, I just came to the bottom of number 3 and clicked enter, and I can say, click here to leave a review on Google. And then you go get the link like I showed you on Google. And you create that same hyperlink. So then once that's done, it's the same steps I showed you previously. We're going to click next step, send to my contacts, select the contact that you have previously created in your CRM or multiple contacts, click next step. There's that launch report. Approved, and then pick your date and time for it to go out or send it right away. Now, just like the last person who asked, if I customize that and I put all those links in there and I took the time to do it that one time, I can, instead of clicking add campaign, I can next time when I come into my campaigns and I click standalone, rather than going in and adding those links again, Monty, this is kind of doing what you're asking, but not really. Before, I can go to my sent campaigns, and the one that I had previously filled with those links will be at the top. I didn't save that one, but let's say this was it, and I could just click copy to new campaign, and it will have saved everything that I had entered previously in that last e-card. All right, questions on e-cards and using the CRM to share these links with multiple contacts or one contact and asking for reviews.
Stacy, can you real quick show how to create a tag so that you can say, do everybody with this tag?
Sure.
Right.
So I'm going to go to contacts in my CRM. I'm still in the CRM. I'm just not looking at my e-card options. Move this. I'll let it think here for a second. And let's say I wanted to come through here and I want to say, okay, I want to send a review request to multiple contacts in my CRM. I have these check boxes to the left. I can go through and select one. Maybe I want to come in and select more. Two. I can go through and select as many as I want. I can go through. Let's say I want to go to my next page. I can do that, and it'll still accumulate. So I can say, okay, I also want Deb and whoever else. So let's say I've selected all the ones that I want to send it to. Now I can go up to the top and I can click the add tag button. You'll see it says I have 5 contacts selected. So I'll click add tag and I can type review or whatever I want the tag name to be. Click add tag, and it's now adding that tag to all 5 of those contacts. Now, maybe I would have sent it to, 15 or 20, maybe more than that. You can. And then what's great is you just go back to your campaigns where those e-cards live under standalone. Add campaign. E-cards. Business development. Go to whichever card you want to send. I'm going to put something in this subject line so it'll let me keep going in. And then instead of picking an individual person the way I showed you, when I click next step, send to my contacts, I can select by tag. So now I can say, send it to everybody that has the tag review. It's going to pull in those 4 people. That means one of those that I selected did not have an email address attached to them. That's why it didn't pull all 5, because my contacts are not real. And then I can click next step. And then I can click approved and then send that out to multiple people at once that I had previously selected part of a group and given them a tag name. So if you haven't done tagging in the CRM, that was a really quick overview. If you go to our training website, there is a little video all about just tagging and doing multiple contacts as a tag at a time, the way I just did it. But that was just a really quick overview. Good question. What else? Thanks, Trudy.
Stacy, when the people get that email and they've got the options down there at the bottom, and so you've created a link or hyperlink for all 3 of the places that they can go to. When they click on that, again, when they click on it, they're going to have a Zillow account. It's going to ask them to sign in order to do it, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with Facebook, which most people like that, so it's going to do that. Google, did we say Google? You do have to have an account to leave a review there as well?
Yes. Yep. Okay. It's going to ask for your account information, or a lot of people who have a Gmail account, when they click on that, they're automatically logged in, so they won't have to create an account.
Okay. So it's going to do that. So, and then if they just respond with to the CRM email and not clicking on one of those, then it's going to come back to us. We're going to have it. Now we can take that and copy and paste it onto our NP Dodge website. Okay. It's not going to show up anywhere. Nope. We have to manually do that. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. And anytime you get them back in your email, you're just going to copy and paste them into that section in website admin under my info testimonials.
So this would actually probably be, like Monty had said, this would actually be the great spot to do this from, because if you could get them to click on it, if they just type it once, they could copy and paste it into all 3 or 4 spots for you, send it back, and then you're all set.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. And if you don't have a Google My Business, or you don't have your Zillow profile, you can modify the body of that email to read what you want it to be. You have 2 options, reply to this email or go to my Facebook page. Don't feel like you have to go create all of the different places and have all the options in there. You can modify that message to say the ones that you do have or what you want it to say. Any other questions? No, I've gone over my hour. So if you guys are starting to get kind of glassy eyed, I understand.
I'm not. You've had my attention the whole time.
Yes.
It's been really good. I'm just getting ready to do my other job, but I appreciate everything. That's very informative.
Awesome. Glad you were able to join us. Anybody else have questions or have any, if you were thinking about it, anything new that you want to add when it comes to suggestions for your fellow agents about how to ask for them, or good wordage, verbiage, things that you like to say, or timing, anything like that?
I have a couple questions if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Does somebody else speak at the same time? They can go first.
I was just going to say, you know, when I have a positive experience with other agents, I will usually send them a follow-up card. But lately I've been thinking about, maybe I'll put, is it bad to put a review on another agent's page, especially if they're outside of the company?
That's a great question. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would say no.
No.
Say no, don't do it, or it's not bad.
Oh, I would say it should be nice. They should see that other agents are, well,
Right.
hyping this person up, but then they would think nicely of the agent as well.
Right. They want to do business with you in the future.
I would
Mhm.
just ask them, because some might say no, some might say yes. So just kind of leave it up to them.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
My question was real quick though. You mentioned if we were putting our, now I'm going to forget it because it was early on. If we were, oh, I'm sorry, hang on a minute. He's gone. If we were putting Ellie, I'm totally distracted now. Sorry.
That's okay.
Putting a testimonial on the CRM, it automatically transmits to our NP Dodge page?
No.
Is that what I understood?
Other way around. So when you put it in your website, then it's automatically an option for you to add to your newsletter in the CRM.
Okay, so do we want to ever put them on our website or no?
Yes. Yes. Putting them in your website is what makes them pull into the CRM.
Okay, all right. And then, okay, all right, because I just put a whole bunch of them in the CRM when we were learning that. I was saying, oh my gosh, I got all these. I always wondered how to get them over there. So it's really easy because I did it real quick.
Well,
But now I have to move them again.
No, you might be, sometimes the verbiage is a little bit confused. So if you went to website admin, my info, testimonials, that is adding them to your website and the CRM.
Okay, that's exactly what I did.
You're good.
Thank you. And just one other comment, if I may, only because we had a speaker at MarTech, and forgive me, I can't recall who it was, the gentleman that was telling us all about verbiage and what to write and what not to. The word love, he said, take it out of everything you do with real estate. Love is an emotion to be shared with family and loved ones and not to be used in a business setting. And I just happened to notice that letter said, I would love to do this for you.
Yeah.
I went out to the thesaurus and got tons of other language to take up. Delightful, thrilled, honored, just saying.
Yep. I like it.
I had to change a lot of my stuff too, just because love isn't supposed to be used.
Stacy, can you show us quick how to get to the short videos that you're making?
Yep. So if you go to your browser and you type in, let me get my browser working again, npdtraining.npdodge.com. It's going to pull up our training website. And you'll see all different categories here. So like if I hover over website customization, we'll give this a second. You've got some options here. So like under website admin, my info, this is where it teaches you to enter testimonials. That last class I taught, flyers, each of those different products that I taught, there's a different video on each one. Got little
So
videos.
there's not a link to this. There's not a link to this from our regular NPD office.
I think there is under training.
It's
We added
separate.
a link. But Nikki
Okay.
and I send it out in almost every email that we send. So if you have an old email from me or Nikki, it will be in that email.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Let's see. I think we put it under training. Didn't we, Nikki?
Yes.
Not, I think
don't
it's
know.
right here. CRM, website, property alerts, and app training videos takes you to the same place.
Great, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? No? All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to stop recording. Can.